This car was low on transmission fluid, so I had to fill it up because, for example, when the car was on 5th gear, was shaking a lot. And also the previous owner told me that the car needs some transmission fluid. So I've done that. I filled it up with around 0.7 liters, and then the vibration stopped on a high speed. So let's check the fluid level. I've got here an aftermarket dipstick. Now the car is leveled and straight. Okay, so now the engine is cold and the level is right here. And I can tell you that this fluid smells very bad. So that's one of the signs you need to change the fluid, when it smells very bad. Another sign is when you find metal shavings in there. That might indicate some internal damage, or at least the beginning of some internal damage in the transmission. Now let's see if this car supports to check the transmission fluid electronically. Transmission oil condition, oil level check. But anyway, it looks like the car doesn't support to check the transmission fluid level remotely. Let's see if we can remove the drain bolt. Alright, maybe I will leave the socket in there. So as you can see here, if this drain bolt is rusted, make sure that this 5mm hex it's all the way in. Make sure the recipient is centered. Now it's almost out, so I'm gonna quickly take it like this. And you can see my fingers are clean. There is absolutely no fluid on my hand. And this smelly fluid comes out. Okay, so next we've got 6 bolts around this transmission panel, so you're gonna need a T30. And first I'm going to remove these 4 bolts around the drain hole. I will leave those 2 on in order to drain the fluid from the panel. Now let's slowly release the tension from these 2 other bolts. When removing the filter, expect some more fluid. So just place the new filter on, make sure the gasket is on it, and place the panel back, then torque the bolts. Okay, so now let's add the fluid. Usually it will take around 3 liters because obviously not all the fluid comes out from the transmission. And in order to do that, you have to basically pressurize this point here, then all the fluid will come out from the torque converter. I've seen some people starting the car and begin to shift into gears, but that's kind of wrong because you basically force that transmission to work without the oil, and that's not a great thing to do. Okay, so I ended up adding 3.5 liters in my situation. Okay, so now let's see if this car requires an automatic transmission fluid reset. If the oil is changed or the transmission is replaced but the original transmission control module is still used, the data needs to be erased. Okay. Let's see, Europe. Well, we don't have Mercedes here, so it means this car does require an ATF reset. If you have questions, let me know. I'm especially curious about this debate. Transmission fluid flush or change. Don't forget to subscribe, stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.